Hi, everyone. Matt here from Cornerstone Church in Marshfield, and I'm here today with your Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. I have a question for you as we begin, and that question is this: what would it look like for you to bless somebody? What would it look like for you to bless somebody? And that somebody could be somebody in your family, it could be a neighbor, it could be a coworker, it could be an extended family member, it could be a stranger, it could be even an enemy. What would it look like for you to bless somebody? Maybe some of the ideas that are coming to your head is you could bless them financially. You could bless them with encouragement. You could bless them with a meal. We can bless people in any sort of way, in all kinds of ways, right? Well, as we continue our journey through Genesis, and we are going to be in Genesis chapter 20 today, if you'd like to get there, we continue to journey with Abraham and Sarah. And you'll remember back in chapter 12, God makes a promise to Abram, who is Abraham. And he says this in verse 2. He says, I'm going to make you into a great nation. I'm going to bless you and make your name great. So that, why? So that you will be a blessing. Abraham was to be a blessing. He was to be a blessing to the world. And so, of course, you would think that as Abraham has this promise that he's going to be a blessing, what we might think is Abraham's going to look for ways to bless people, much in the same way that we just came up with these different ideas, whether it be financially or verbally or with the different time, talents, and treasures that we have. Well, we get to Genesis chapter 20, and we find out, and it looks like that Abraham maybe forgot this promise that God has given him. Well, what do I mean by that? Join me in verse 1 in chapter 20. It says, from there Abraham journeyed toward the territory of the Negeb, and he lived between Kadesh and Shur, and he sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of his wife Sarah, he said, she is my sister. Now, if you've been with us for the past 20 days, you know that Abraham's used this trick before. He, in his fear, believes that it's best to tell these foreign kings that Sarah is his sister because it'll be better for him. And apparently, Abraham forgot that he's to be a blessing to the world. And Abraham says, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent, and he took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, behold, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife. Now Abimelech had not approached her, meaning he hadn't touched her. He hasn't done anything to cross the line. So he said, Lord, will you kill an innocent people? Did he not himself, that being Abraham, say to me, she is my sister? And she herself, that being Sarah, said, he is my brother? In the integrity of my heart, Abimelech says, in the innocence of my hands, I have done this. Then God said to him in the dream, yes, I know that you have done this in the integrity of your heart, and it was I who kept you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not let you touch her. See how God's intervening here. Verse 7, now then, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, so that he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return her, know that you shall surely die, you and all who are yours. Wow. It's hard to read those 7 verses and look at that and go, wow, Abraham is a great blessing. Instead, what we find out is Abraham has really become a curse to Abimelech and to his family and to his people. I mean, God has to intervene here in order for Abraham to be a blessing. And there's no way that Abraham is a blessing in this story to Abimelech, because God says, Abimelech, you right now in your state, because of what you have done, you are a dead man. And that's not a blessing, right? And friends, it got me thinking as I read that story, and you can continue to read it through in all of chapter 20. It got me thinking, you know what? When it comes to us, as we follow Jesus here on this earth, when it comes to us being a blessing, it's quite impossible without God, right? If we're left to our own devices, our own decisions, our own ideas, our own plans, we're not going to be a blessing. Instead, we're going to become a curse. We're going to become death to those around us. We are in desperate need of God's presence. We're in desperate need of God's help if we are ever going to fulfill this promise that God has given us. And you see, friends, all of us are called to be a blessing. We have been blessed if we have come to faith in Jesus, if we have trusted in him. We have been blessed to be saved and reconciled to God and have a relationship with God. But if we think we're going to receive that blessing of knowing God and then just kind of walk away and do it our own way, guess what? We're not going to be much of a blessing to the world that is around us. Instead, we are going to bring a curse. Why? Because we're not bringing the one who brings life. And that one is God. And he is the only one who can bring blessing. Friends, if you're ever tempted, or you ever start thinking, I'm just going to go off and do things my way, and God's just going to fulfill his promise anyway, let me encourage you, take caution, be careful. Because not only will you probably end up hurting other people, but you're also going to hurt your own family. You're going to hurt yourself eventually. Friends, just as Abraham was called to be a blessing to the world that was around him, you and I are called to be a blessing to the world that surrounds us. Don't try to do it on your own. Depend on God. Trust that he will fulfill his promises, and trust that he will better bless the world than you ever could on your own. Friends, have a great day, and we'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection. But between now and then, have fun being a blessing. Take care, and we'll see you soon.